Make sure that camera's set up right. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Thank you everybody for coming on. I see there's been a lot of comments already on YouTube, so I will be making my way through those. Also checking out the Indiegogo comments as well. Things on Facebook when it does get quiet. Just going through answering those. Wanted to give everybody kind of a global update, so we will be calling in some other people to join the live as well. Happy New Year to you too, Eugene. Stoked to have you on. Wow, I'm looking pasty white in here. Troy, our logistics manager, will be joining in about 10 minutes to give more detailed update on where we stand in our various locations around the world. Sarah will be coming in at 2:50, so about 20 minutes from now, just to give a little update on her side. She's our rider support manager. Brian, great to have you on here. And I will be checking comments as well on this side, so if I look away, I'm reading your comments. Antonio, great to see you. Democracy is failing, and all I want is to know when my baby maker is shipping. Yes, that is the most common question by far. Where's my bike? When will I get my bike? That's why we're pulling in Troy, to try and give everybody a better idea of exactly when your bikes are coming. The biggest challenge really is we don't want to give anybody the wrong information. And there's a lot of parts of this that are outside of our control. If it was just us, we'd be able to tell you, exactly when something is happening. However, we're counting on many partners who are constrained due to COVID, etc. So for example, Long Beach, the port where our containers come into the US, we just got a picture from FedEx, and there's about 100 container ships just parked out there, just waiting to get into the port. And it's something that they didn't account for, so hugely slows everything getting in, and then customs getting through stuff, getting to FedEx where they have just completely blown out warehouses, and sometimes it takes them a week to get to a shipment. So where we expect something to happen as normal, things aren't that normal in the supply chain, but we're making through it, making big progress all over. So long story short, if you have not received your bike yet, it's in production. You will get it. When you will get it, that's something we don't know exactly when for everybody, but Troy will be in to give you a better picture so that you can have an idea of when to expect that. All right, let's hit these comments. And I will go through and read the comments posted before this went live as well. We can kind of hit each of those one by one. So a couple people in Europe. Big news. The first baby makers have finally arrived in Europe. That's a huge milestone. It took forever for those components to clear customs in Europe. They were just sitting on them because of COVID, and they didn't want to go to the warehouse to catch COVID. It was just ridiculous. That's that video you saw of Pete going over there, and I think they ended up taking a truck with boxes of components from the warehouse to customs for customs to look at it, inspect it, and then bring it back so they wouldn't get COVID from a warehouse. But those made it through. That was the first few hundred bikes for Europe, and also more components have arrived. So our facility in Spain, they've been working on the bikes. The first bikes did ship to the Netherlands to be distributed throughout mainland Europe from there. And the first shipment to the UK. Troy's going to give you an update on that when he's in about 7 minutes. So I don't want to give you the wrong information. They're on top of those details a lot more than I am. Yes, on the question with the wrong color, so 2 people mentioned receiving the wrong color baby maker. If you do receive your order and it's not correct, please take a photo of the barcode on the box, which will help us determine, was it a mistake from our fulfillment partner from the distribution center? Did they just send the wrong box, or was it boxed incorrectly? So get a picture of that barcode and the actual bike itself, and then email that to us, support@flx.bike. That would be a big help. That will kickstart the process. Our support team, they'll be on top of it to make that right to you, make sure you get the right bike, or we come up with another solution. We did. I do see a lot of comments regarding the Facebook group. I'm assuming it's the official Baby Maker Owners group. That is moderated by a Baby Maker owner, not even FLX staff. I do receive quite a few suggestions as far as how we can work on the moderation of that group, and a lot of folks not quite happy with that. So totally open to ideas. If you have ideas on how to run that group better, or what we could do in terms of moderation or rules that everybody can agree to so that people are happy, I'm all ears. Please let me know. I do chat with Evan every once in a while, who's moderating it regarding these things. So please let me know what you think, and we'll have a better conversation about it. And the main purpose of that group is to be productive. That's why the rules are there. Positive energy. Let's think how we can all get along, how we can make the best of everything, and how all of us Baby Maker owners can share information to get the best out of our bikes. It's not a forum for customer service. We do have channels for that. If you want to email us regarding your order, if you need any changes, etc., you can contact FLX staff at support@flx.bike. Lewis asked a question about Spain factory. How many bikes are assembled per week? Are there enough components, etc.? Troy will be coming in. He can give you a much better picture of that. He'll be in 5 minutes. Gregory has been waiting on his Indiegogo order, estimated to ship from October. Haven't received status. We do have a lot more bikes en route to the U.S. right now, so I don't know exactly where yours is in regards to those bikes. But as soon as it basically does get in, we send out an address confirmation email. So keep an eye out for that, just to make sure we have the correct address for you. You haven't moved since when you placed the order, and then you do get a tracking number from us. We have had some issues with the actual tracking numbers, just so that everybody knows where we've sent out tracking numbers, because we sent FedEx a list of bikes to fulfill, and then they go to fulfill them, and we sent out the tracking numbers to everybody who's supposed to receive them, and then FedEx finds out they're short a bike, or they made a mistake, shipped the wrong bike. It hasn't been 100% down the line on that, so that has caused some issues. And sometimes we'll even send them the list to distribute, and they've sat on them for 4 or 5 days, just because there's so much volume that it's taking them quite a while to get orders out. So that is one tiny slowdown we have had on the fulfillment side, but we're on the phone with FedEx practically every day to sort these issues out. We do have a meeting every Thursday, the whole team with the whole FedEx team. So there's a lot of people invested in making sure this works. Some slowdowns with FedEx, but so far so good. The majority of orders have all gone out without issue, but there are those few things that we're focusing on improving. Who's the distributor partner in Australia? I think their name is Fullworks. Don't quote me on that in case I get the wrong one. And I believe they're in Sydney as well. Troy will be able to give you a better answer of that. We did ship, I think it was 444 bikes to Australia. That should be on the water as of yesterday. And that is pretty much every Baby Maker order through June for Australia. So big progress there. It did take a while to get the government approval to import the bikes, but it's finally got through all the admin paperwork. It's approved, and bikes are on the way. So it's a short trip to Australia. Once they get in, and this is the same for every country, it goes to port. in Australia, and then it's got to go through customs. So that's always an unknown status. We don't know if it's going to be 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, weeks. We've had containers sit for 6 weeks at customs before, but crossing our fingers, it's not going to be anything crazy. Hopefully just a few days to get through customs. Then from customs, it gets trucked to the distribution center. From the distribution center, it'll be sometime during that process, you'll receive an email from us letting you know how you can pay the GST. Once the GST is paid, the distribution center will send the bike out, I believe with TNT in Australia, correct?
That's correct.
Sweet. Hey, Troy has just joined. I'm going to move this camera a little bit. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you.
All right, so Troy is our supply chain and logistics manager. He's an absolute unit. He's been doing this for the aerospace industry.
Yeah, and electronics.
And electronics industry for quite some time. I'm really excited to surround myself with people much smarter than myself because he's really good at what he does, and he's been incredible at getting thousands of bikes out around the world since he began here. So he's here with some notes on exactly where we stand in our major markets around the world with the baby maker. So
yeah,
do you want to kind of go through those?
So yeah, right now we're at we've delivered in the United States just short of 2,000 bicycles, and with many more on the way. And we'll talk about some of the congestion at the harbors and such. New Zealand, we've pushed 125 bikes that are there that are in distribution right now and are going out, and people are already getting those. Australia has 2 containers. A container holds 222 baby makers. So 444 bikes on the water on their way to Australia. Canada bikes are also on their way they're coming to the United States. They're going to fulfill from the US.
When did the Australian ones leave?
They left actually Monday.
Monday, okay. So Monday, the Australia bikes left. Any idea how long it takes to get the
Well, the issue is they were actually supposed to leave right after Christmas. There's a lot of congestion getting things out of China. So the next question will be, will there be congestion getting things into Australia? So we're seeing it kind of all over the place. We have the same issue. We're talking with UK fulfillment. They've got issues right now with port congestion. So it's outgoing and it's incoming. We can talk about LA port. There's absolutely no berths available. They got ships lined up. There's an armada sitting outside of Los Angeles trying to find a berth. And then to try and clear containers from the harbor is extended. So
just so you guys know the landscape, the whole logistics industry has been completely slammed with COVID. Everybody sitting at home doing a lot more online shopping than normal has really stressed logistics networks around the world. So it's not just here in the US, also even just leaving China. We got an email from FedEx today about containers leaving. They don't even have enough containers in China to take on shipments. It's just wild. So our logistics costs have gone up an insane amount, about 300 to 400% for container shipping, and there has been quite an increase in weight as well. But we're pumping through it. We're making it through it. All right, continuing on. Where are you at?
So that was the Canada bikes. Like I said, those are going to come be shipping out of the United States. So those are coming to the U.S. also. Those are on the water, and we have quite a few bikes coming in. So, but those should be shipping out starting in probably the end of this month. We'll start fulfilling out into Canada also.
Awesome.
Just so everyone understands, we were talking about supply chain and congestion. One of the things that we were made aware of is normally there is a peak period around Christmas that FedEx has. That usually ends mid-January. This year it's supposed to end January 18th. We were informed last week that they have continued the peak period, congestion for indefinitely. So they're not committing to when they're going to be, kind of out of this hole. And I don't think it's going to probably be any different anywhere else. I think this is more of a worldwide phenomenon. So not making excuses, but we're dealing with the challenges we have in front of us. We want to bring product in so it moves quickly, it doesn't sit in a container for a long period of time. So we're trying to move things so they once they come in, they move out, fairly directly.
Totally. So Dave asked, we've seen reports of container shippers losing shipping containers into the ocean. Was any of the baby makers affected by those accidents?
No, they weren't. Yeah, there was one. I think there's 1,000 containers that came off the top of off the deck of one of the ships. No, we were not affected by that. Thank goodness.
Luckily, no
Yeah.
baby makers were harmed in action. Somebody asked about an issue with the smaller frames. No, we haven't had any issues with any frame size or SKU that I know of, correct?
No, so understand that when we build these, we tend to build them, in large groups as much as possible. So it makes the most sense, especially when you're painting frames. You want to, if you're doing a lot of orange bikes, you want to paint a lot of orange bikes. You don't want to be making color changes all the time. It affects the consistency of the paint and all the rest of that. So it'll seem like, well, other people have gotten their bikes before me, but it's kind of a mix issue of what color you have. Do you have dropper bars? Some things like that. We try and build these in large groups and move them through. So I've been getting some updates on that, and I'm not going to go into all the specifics, but yeah, we're trying to get a little bit better balance on that to close out some of those older orders and get people their bikes.
We have, though, fulfilled every SKU of bike, correct?
Yes.
There isn't any SKU where we just haven't built any.
That's true. The low numbers on some, but we've shipped something of every single SKU.
Yeah, so every variation of baby makers has been built, has shipped, and we continue, let's build this many of this many of that. But in the 19-inch Sterlings, those have been built, 19-inch whatever's, they've all been built. I know some people see a lot of photos of the 23-inch black one or orange one, for example, and some people conjecture, oh, well, they haven't built any small frames. That's not the case at all. Actually, we have built every single variation of bikes, a lot of small frame bikes, the 19-inch frames as well. However, those pictures just don't get posted as much because there are less of them in total as far as orders.
Yeah.
Sweet. Did you go through your whole list? Is that every location?
Actually, I had a couple things, and I know we've kind of probably touched on some of this on the updates, but usually we'll send out address verifications 10 to 15 days before we're ready to ship bikes. So when you see that email asking you to verify your address, please don't let that sit. Literally, I had, not to pick on the Kiwis, but I had some New Zealanders actually changing address after we had already started shipping. And when you get that email, it's pretty straightforward. It has all your information. If it's all right, you don't have to do anything. If there's anything wrong with either the bike, because we send the spec of what bike you're getting and your address. If there's anything wrong with that, please go into ZenWorks and change that immediately, so we can make sure we get you the right bike and we get it to the right address. So I would ask that. U.S. and Canada, FedEx, we require adult signature. If that is a problem for you to be, at your place so that you can accept the bike, you can make arrangements with FedEx to do a pickup of the bike. We don't want these bikes getting stolen. They do require signatures, so they can't just leave them because they're nice. They'll disappear. We don't want that to happen. We're putting in phone numbers again, U.S. and Canada only. We have text notifications, so if once your bike is shipped, you should be getting text updates on the status of your bike continuously.
Do you have an update on UK specifically?
So UK, we are. I'm not going to announce it here because it's not quite ready, but we have the fulfillment partner set up, so that's ready to go. We did have a little bit of issue getting the proper chargers for the UK because they're a different charger, but the build plan is set for those, and right now we've fulfilled one order for for mainland Europe, and a second one is about ready to go out. The next one after that will be UK, and that'll again be 222 bikes. We've already laid out the first 4 builds for mainland Europe and the first 2 builds for the UK. We have enough material right now, just right now, to build over 800 bikes in Europe with more material on the way.
Fantastic. Yeah, Rigo did just ask that about the plug for UK bikes. So we are getting the UK plug.
Yes, we are. We have
for
those.
UK bikes.
Yeah.
We got it. All right. So Rigo, you won't need the converter. Man, the plugs in UK are so big. It's like the size of your fist.
They're
It's
easy to
wild.
find.
They're huge.
Couple other things. If you've ordered extra battery or extra charger, we're starting to fulfill some of those. We're trying to focus mainly on getting bicycles in right now. We have sent out some of the extra chargers that people have ordered, and we're working on. We haven't forgotten about you. We're working those. I just don't have a date on all those yet, but we're actively working on getting the chargers and the extra batteries for the people who've ordered those.
Fantastic. Cool.
And last thing, touring kits. So those are being built. I'm anticipating right now that we'll probably start fulfilling those in March. That could move in. I'm hoping to move that in if possible. We've got some challenges. We have Chinese New Year that kind of slows everything down and all that, but those are being built. We're just trying to figure out how to get those into a container, because again, with the congestion, there's a little trade-off. Do we get bikes? Do we get touring kits?
My understanding is we already got a lot of those built.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So a lot of touring packages are ready, probably enough for a container. However,
Right.
like Troy was saying, we need to choose: are we going to send bikes
Right.
for waiting customers, or touring packages? So we've had to make that choice to send bikes first, and then likely in March is when that first touring package shipment will ship.
Correct.
Earth plugs. Edward says, "Love this effing bike. So glad I bought it." Thank you, Edward. Great to hear some positives and hear from the folks who have received them, and that's been the overwhelming response from people who have received the bike. Super positive. Really excited about that. It would be very easy for us to fulfill a bunch of bikes and not pay attention, and we see other Indiegogo campaigns doing this where they just put some shoddy piece of junk together and send it out in the interest of making people happy just to get it out. But that's not what we're about. We're focusing on doing it right. Anytime we get a quality issue where somebody says, "Hey, this happened on my bike," etc., but we stop. We've got people on the ground in China, our QC managers, that will go through and they will unbox every single bike that's been built to make sure that issue hasn't gone through in more bikes before they go out. So we are taking our time to do it right. Somebody asked, is there going to be any sort of gift or anything like that for the folks who are waiting a little bit past the estimates? There will not be, in terms of something extra sent. However, basically, the longer it takes for your bike to get there, the better it will be. The reason is we continue to make improvements on every single bike of ours throughout. One thing that's gone on in the bikes, so we have changed the quick release axle to a through axle. So pretty much all the bikes going out now are through axle, which is an improvement. It's more rigid. It's a pretty sweet through axle. And it did cost us a pretty penny to get that in, but it does improve the overall ride. So for the folks waiting a bit longer, consolation is that you are getting an improved bike and any of the lessons learned from the first few thousand bikes that we built as well. Sweet. Is that everything for?
I think that's it.
Your update. All right. Thank you so much, Troy, for joining for the update. And he's working his butt off to get on top of all the details. It is really a lot of work. Him and Ben together, just cranking these out. So thanks again, Troy.
Trying to get your stuff.
All right. Appreciate it. Sweet. next, Sarah will be joining our rider support manager. Just to have a chat with her. She may be able to give us an update on where we are support-wise. She's an absolute unit, absolute hero, and she oversees the whole support team. I'll be going back through these comments and trying to address as much as I can in the short 1 hour live that we have today. Sarah, what is going on?
What is up, Rob?
Hey, come on in. When's the last time you did a live?
It has been a hot second. I think it's been like 6 weeks now?
6 weeks. Wow. All right. How are things going on the support front? How's the workload?
Things are good. I mean, we've been really busy, but it's been a good busy. We have quite a few tickets coming through. I just got back from holiday, so this is my first day back in the office. So we had quite a few tickets in there, but everything's been going really well.
Awesome. Let's see. Brian just asked, where is Sarah Grace? We miss her.
Aw, hi Brian. I'm back. I was in Colorado for Christmas.
All right. What's the deal with the LCD display? Hey Trev, I will address that later. LCD display, and I'm just gonna read through these comments for you, Sarah.
Cool.
Kind of run through these. Daniel says my estimated shipping date was October, but haven't gotten any updates on it. Just want to make sure my order isn't lost. No, not lost. All of them are in production. As we mentioned before, we can't say exactly when it will arrive due to everything we mentioned. However, thousands have been delivered already, and there are more to go. So please hang tight. Thank you for the patience.
Also, a good note on that too is your Indiegogo order page won't update. So even if it hasn't arrived yet, it will always say what it said when you originally ordered. So if your original order estimate was in October, it won't keep updating to let you know when your bike's going to arrive. We just have a separate page on our website that has an updated chart that you can look at that gives you a pretty good idea.
Right. And just some lessons learned from this campaign. That delivery or shipping estimate, it's something that Indiegogo makes you put on a campaign. So we put our best estimate at the time based on everything we knew from our suppliers and vendors. It is an estimate. It is not a guarantee or a promise of any kind, just what we think it will take for that bike to arrive. We do, however, guarantee the shipment of every single bike. It will absolutely get to you. If we can't get it to you, that's a different conversation, but you will get the bike. It may or may not be according to that estimate. Some actually ship before the estimates. Quite a few are shipping later, and we apologize for that. Thank you guys for the patience, but you will get the bikes.
If you order your Baby Maker Pro today, our estimated, just like we were just talking about, time frame is in the springtime of 2021. We'll have more exact updates a little bit closer to that time frame, but right now we're looking at what, May-ish 2021 is our estimated date.
So we'll have to have Troy run those numbers again, and probably just because of all this be extra conservative.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of factors that we don't know. But again, just on that Indiegogo dates moving forward, we wish they didn't put a month there. If we could say, give a window of time, that would be a lot more fair to you guys, so that okay, between October and a certain date, that would be a lot easier. So that's something we'll actually be talking direct with Indiegogo about in our call next week. Are Indiegogo orders treated as priority as per their campaign rules, please, or is everyone dealt with together?
I'm not sure.
I think he's asking, are we taking new orders and shipping them and just ignoring the Indiegogo orders?
Okay, so absolutely not. So our other bikes that we already have in stock, those are completely different. We have a completely different system for those. So our main priority right now is getting all those bikes out and getting as many Indiegogo orders out as possible. I was talking to Rob about this earlier, and I would say 98% of my workload at the moment is just working on Baby Maker orders and answering Indiegogo questions, and I haven't even really touched anything else with our company even recently. So 98% of my focus is on Indiegogo at the moment, and I would say that's about the same for everyone else.
Yeah, so how we fulfill the bikes is pretty much in the order of when they were placed. So if it was placed on Indiegogo or our website, it's all based on the order date. And there is some fluctuation just based on which country you're in or which SKU you've got, but it's pretty much just shipping, going through those orders from oldest to newest, first in, first out. And there are a few where it's like one small frame pink bike that may be order number 600 that goes out before order number 300. However, the instruction for all of our departments is to go from oldest to newest. So we're not ignoring any orders by any means. Ryan asked, did we drop the standard model? What would that mean for people still waiting for that model? So Ryan, we did stop selling the standard model because it only represented a very small minority of the orders, but it represented 24 variations. We've got 48 variations of Baby Maker. That was half of them, but only a small portion of the sales. So it's like the 80-20 rule. We decided to remove some of the complexity to make it easier moving forward. We are still building them. Absolutely everything that's been ordered, we put orders in with our vendors during the campaign in March, April, May. That's when we did orders for everything. So still being built. However, just moving forward, we probably won't sell any standards anymore. We'll just focus on the best of the best with the Pro. Brooks Hinkle says, Rob, your authenticity and facts are thin at best. Might want to cash in your stock and move to Costa Rica. The excuses, stories, complications are 100% worn out. Just want my bike.
I'll go to Costa Rica.
All right, you want to go to Costa Rica?
Yeah, All right. Sorry if I don't get back to your emails, guys. We'll be in Costa Rica.
just kidding. Don't freak out. Yeah, we'll be here still working on your bikes. I get it, Brooks. You know, you've been waiting for the bike for a while. It's gonna come. We will get you the bike. So appreciate your patience, and I don't blame you for being frustrated about it at all. You know, everybody's working their butts off, doing their best to get you the bike, and it will get to you. All right. Any other common things you see in?
I was going to talk about this. I've had a lot of people asking me why they can't pick up their bike in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So our warehouse in San Diego is pretty small. This is mainly where our office area is we don't actually store the bikes here. So we don't have, we have some Baby Makers here just in our front shop area, but the Baby Makers that we're shipping out are actually at a FedEx location in a different area of California. So that's why we're not able to have people come here and actually pick them up here because they aren't here.
Yeah. So FedEx, it's an act of Congress to even visit FedEx for us, and we're their biggest customer at the moment. So they can't take visitors to their location. We can't have customers go to FedEx. Like I can't even go to FedEx. We've been working for weeks just to get Troy there. But yeah, customers can't come to the FedEx warehouse to pick it up. They're absolutely slammed right now. We don't process the bikes through here. We get them straight to FedEx. FedEx goes direct to you. So that saves one step in the middle in the interest of getting everybody's bikes out faster.
Yeah, so there's a lot of configurations of the Baby Makers that we haven't even seen yet. We've just seen pictures of them because they go directly to our riders instead of here and then to you guys because it just removes that one step and makes it quicker.
Carlos, good to see you on here. Was asking about the Sterling 19-inch. Yes, they are being built and you will get it. Yeah, 19-inch, all variations, as we mentioned earlier with Troy. Brooks said planes go to China, get over there and manage. It's Brooks again. There's nothing I would like more than to be in China right now and working at the factory, on the factory floor and everything. But due to COVID, we literally cannot go there. They're not taking flights from the US. As everybody knows, travel is a bit impacted by this. I speak fluent Chinese. I spent 10 years there. I'd love to go there. I love the country. It's a cool place. So I'd absolutely love to help out, but right now, literally can't travel.
Hey Thomas, I actually just saw your email today and I emailed you back. I'm working on this right now. I was actually just talking to Troy about your bike this morning. So go check your email. I emailed you.
Sweet.
All right, actually, I'm going to get back to my tickets
All right.
unless.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Are you set?
Yeah, you took my shoes off.
You get real comfortable in here. Sarah wants to be the boss, I'm sure. All right. Let me take a sip and we'll power through these questions here. Neil said you didn't get responses from FLX support even though they said they replied. Yeah, we did have quite a few of those issues with email deliverability. Most of them were due to contacting us through Indiegogo on the Indiegogo campaign. And I'm telling you what not to do, so don't do this now because they usually don't go through right. On Indiegogo, there's a button that says like ask a question, which has a contact form. If you use that, it will send an email through Indiegogo, but it comes from a no reply address. So it doesn't even have your email address on it when it comes to us. And so a lot of tickets came through with that. Our support was replying to them and they would just go to a no reply address. So people weren't getting responses if they used that function on Indiegogo. Be sure to contact us directly by emailing support@flx.bike. If you have emailed us, contacted us, and haven't heard back in a reasonable time frame, right now our response times are pretty fast. It should just be 1 to 2 business days. If it's been like 4, 5, 6 business days and you haven't heard a response from us, again, those are business days, Monday through Friday, not holidays, then please just shoot us another email. Make sure it is support@flx.bike, and you can try from another email address. Please be sure to check your spam folder as well, as quite a few of them do go there. Okay, we did also have a lot of questions on the LCD display, and if I can pull up exactly what was stated on that. I'm just looking for the update. Great, so the LCD display, we did offer just an upgraded LCD display for the $3 million stretch goal when we ran the Indiegogo campaign. And I believe it was April 17th when we published that. So that was an update on Indiegogo. And we said, hey, this is something that we're working on. If we hit the 3 million, everybody gets this display. However, at the bottom of that, we noted our priority is to build and ship you the best bike possible as soon as possible. If for any reason this upgrade does not live up to our expectations or slows things down, we will proceed with the current display. We did have to do that as the newer display was not ready in time for the first 1,000 or so baby makers. So those, we had to make a call on it, and everybody's waiting on the bike. So we did ship the first 1,000 or so baby makers with the original tried and true display. After that, the newer display did finish production, did finish testing, and we've included that on newer baby makers. So true to what we said we would do, we built the bikes, got them out. The display unfortunately was a little bit delayed, so it didn't get on the first 1,000 or so bikes, but you got the bike before everybody else. So I hope that's a good consolation. Terry asked, when will we receive the accessory kit? So mentioned that earlier with Troy, in case you missed it. Most of the touring packages are actually done already. They're built, but there's no logistics capacity to ship them right now. We're fighting for containers, and we're going to ship bikes instead of the touring packages just because with so many riders without a bike right now, that's a little bit more pertinent. So we're looking at a March window to start shipping those touring packages. Ray says, hang in there, Rob. Wish people could be more patient. There's a global pandemic going on. Thank you so much. And I get it. You know, people are very anxious to get the bike. I don't blame anybody at all. Even if you call me names, etc., go ahead. You know, it's okay. We were hoping to get most people their bike sooner than now. So if you've been waiting on it, especially if we gave you an estimated date of October, November, etc., and you haven't got it yet, I can't blame you at all for that, but we will get it to you, so thank you for the patience. A little update on UK. There were a lot of questions and concerns about Brexit. You know, I don't understand everything about Brexit. I'm no expert on this at all, but so with the new year 2021, the Brexit rules taking place, whether there would be additional taxes levied on the bikes to the UK. From what we've heard, our latest information, it looks like there probably won't be any additional VAT. We've heard that it's going to be a 0%. So we will continue monitoring that and updating you. But so far, it's looking very optimistic for those UK bikes not getting charged extra taxes. A few questions about the speed limit for bikes in Europe. They do ship with a speed limit of 25 kilometers per hour to be street legal in Europe. For off-road use only, it is possible to adjust that. And I believe there may be some information on the internet for that, for the folks who are using it for private off-road use only. So I would advise anybody who is interested in that to join the official FLX Baby Maker Owners Group on Facebook, where I imagine if that information did exist, it would probably be posted in there very soon, now that the European bikes are landing. Okay, Beefies was wondering about charge cycles for the batteries. Is there an estimate on how many charges it can hold before I need to look into a replacement extra? Hey, that's a great question. It's really going to come down to you. The more you use a battery, the more the battery life kind of slowly degrades. Just like a phone, if you've had it for 5 years, you start to notice the battery doesn't last so long anymore. The battery cells themselves are rated to maintain 80% of their charge capacity after 500 cycles. So if you charge it, let's say 3 times a week, that's 150 a year, correct? Yeah, about 150 a year. So that's about 3 years before you get to around 80% capacity. So it's really up to you how often you charge, how often you ride, and also how low of a battery you'll accept before you'd like to get a new one. We do offer those on our website, so if you do need a replacement in the future, you can order one. There should be, if there's not already a video there, video with instructions telling you exactly how to replace it when you do need that. Drawn from the Water asked, why is it that if I ordered something from China or Spain or Italy, or an exercise bike from China or a treadmill from Italy, why does that arrive in days to England? Why is it taking forever with FLX? Hey, that is a great question. So the fundamental difference is the Baby Maker, this is a crowd-funded project. So it's not a retail buying experience. We do have bikes that we do offer retail where you can buy it and it's shipped out the next day. We absolutely do that as well. This is a crowdfund, so it's very, very different. When you're buying the exercise bike or the treadmill from Italy or China, you're buying a product that already exists, has already been built, and is already on the shelf. With crowdfunding, it's an opportunity to order something that has not been built yet. It's an idea, it's a prototype. We're saying we want to build this beautiful bike, the Baby Maker. We'd love to put it into production, and you have an opportunity to buy it at a huge discount before they do go in stock at that product page. In exchange for the discount, there will be a little bit of a wait because we receive your pre-order. It's a pre-order. You're buying it before it's even built. Receive your pre-order, take the funds from that, and then we go and build your bike. And building bikes, that's not a 1 or 2 day thing. We have to order all the components for them. Those components have to be built. So, when we order motors, the motor guys are actually building the motors and then delivering them to us. So each part of the bike needs to be built. Then we assemble those and send it on to you. So long story short, it's because your bike is built to order. You're pre-ordering it, put it into production, and then ship it to you. Daddy Yank asked what percentage received their bikes. I believe we're very close to the halfway point. I don't know if we're for short of the halfway or just over it, but we're pretty much close to the halfway point. Brian says everybody is happy when they get it. People need to be patient and a little understanding during this whole process. Hey, thank you very much for that. Mikkel asked, are pro version and standard versions in production? Yes, we fulfilled thousands of each. There were much less orders of the standard. Actually, it might not be thousands of the standard, but at least hundreds of standards and thousands of pros. Both have been in production. There's just been a lot less orders for the standards, so you may not see as many photos of those from riders posting them on the groups. Hey, that's a great idea. Izzy mentioned I did get a used baby maker while I've been waiting for my purchase, and it's been awesome. Thanks, Rob and FLX team. Just eager to get my brand new one. That's really cool to hear, and that is an idea. If you do hang out in the Facebook baby maker owners group, every once in a while I see somebody that got it and their situation changed between when they ordered and when they got it, or it's not exactly right for them. Every once in a while one does go up for sale, so if you are anxious to get one, that's always an option to grab one from somebody who just received it. Basil asked, do the Canadian bikes on the water have the upgraded display? Yes, they should. And all of the displays, by the way, did get upgraded firmware, which was another stretch goal for the 28 mile per hour speed limit. Originally it was locked at 25, so they were all expanded to a max of 28. You do have to be pedaling pretty hard to hit that. But I believe Eugene is still the speed record, as far as I know. Post it if you've beat this, but Eugene's record is like 34 miles an hour on a flat with his Baby Maker Beta. Tango Mania asked about broken LCD displays. Unfortunately, we did see quite a few broken LCDs, and one is too many. But we've changed the packaging multiple times, always improving pretty much every round of bikes. If we receive a report of something broken, we go in with our QC people and we figure out, okay, how can we improve this? How can we make sure this doesn't happen again? So the LCDs, we changed how those are packaged. We've experimented with them on the handlebars, off the handlebars, packaged against the bike separately, packaged in its own box, etc. Some of those, it looks like, got thrown away because they were hidden inside some of the foam packaging just to protect it, and we didn't have good labeling on that. So that's something that we should have caught earlier, but we've caught it now. The displays are labeled well, so you don't miss them. When you do get your Baby Maker, please don't throw anything away until you do completely assemble the bike. Get a chance to give it a look over and make sure that nothing is missing, because you don't want to find out after you've thrown everything away that you're missing a nut or display that was just mixed in with the packaging. It's very easy to miss some of these things. Bruce, yes, this is the forum to ask a question of Rob on YouTube. Dave said, stop holding out on us. I heard you have a new skateboard campaign. Do BM backers get a discount when we get a board? Dave, I might be able to hook you up with that. DM me on Instagram and I'll shoot you a special link for that. Our sister company, so you guys know, Miles Board runs out of the same office here. It's another one of my companies. We make electric skateboards, kind of goes hand in hand with the bikes. We launched a new electric skateboard about month and a half ago. The team's been working hard on that one, the Miles team, anyways, and it's a cool board. Not for everybody. It's a dangerous little vehicle, but super fun. The big man asked if the Kiwi Pro 23-inch with dropper bars have reached production shipment. Still waiting on that. Yes, every variation, again, has been built. Every variation has been built and shipped. We have shipped bikes in every variation. So no matter what you ordered, we have definitely built at least some of those. If you haven't received it yet, hang tight. It's absolutely coming. But there's no single variation where we just don't have the parts to build it or decided, we won't build them. We're building everything pretty much in the order they were ordered. That's how our build plans go. So no issues with that. I want to make sure you know how much I appreciate the work you all have done over the past few months. Although we are still waiting for my wife's 19-inch Sterling, you have been there to answer questions. I lost a comment. Clark, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. The team has been grinding so hard on this, and we're gutted when we do see the negative feedback. A lot of it is much deserved for folks that are waiting on bikes that were expecting them earlier. So we get it. And we'll get through it. We're building the bikes. We'll get them to you. I know it's an agonizing wait, but it will be well worth it for everybody who is waiting. Mike brought up a concern with the Facebook group about censorship and people getting blocked in there. I have seen quite a few comments about that, so that's something I will certainly be looking into and discussing with the moderators in there very shortly. Hey Bruce, question about the battery level on the Blade 2.0 not working properly. We do have a video about the display settings for the Blade. If you search like display settings FLX, you'll be able to find that. But it will show you how to get into the back settings of the Blade, and I believe there's multiple options on how to display the voltage. You can display it as like a percentage or the actual voltage. So I would try that. And then if you do have issues with it, please contact our support team, support@flx.bike. Anytime you do have an issue with the bike, we're there to sort it out. That's the whole reason for the support team. But it will be so helpful if you include a photo or videos detailing exactly what you've encountered. That will help us solve that issue faster. So a lot of people are asking exactly when their bikes will arrive. Unfortunately, that's not something that we can tell until it gets through customs and is in our fulfillment center. There are too many variables in the process, so I'm not going to tell anybody a date and risk one of our vendors or partners putting my credibility on the line. So I will never put my credibility on the line based on something somebody else has told me if it's out of my control. So unfortunately can't tell anybody a solid date, but we can keep you updated where we're at in the process. Once it does get in the fulfillment center, you will get the email from us telling you that it's arrived, confirming your shipping address, and then also a tracking number when it goes out. I would absolutely love to be able to provide exact dates to everybody. There are just too many variables that are out of our control to be able to say that. Martin asks, I ordered the Sterling, but was wanting black trim. Haven't had any answer on whether it comes with black or tan trim. All of the Sterling bikes will come with the tan trim. All of those are tan trim. I have seen one with, I saw somebody do a matte black bike and then add like the tan components to the black bike, and that looked really sweet. I love that. So whoever did that, that was a cool custom job. But to answer your question, all of the Sterling bikes are with the tan components. All of the other colors are with the black accents. Daniel, I have faith, Rob. You guys are doing your best for sure. Thank you, Daniel. I wish we could do better, but we are absolutely doing our best, and we will get all the bikes out for sure. G Lover, thanks, Rob. We love you. We love you too. We get a lot of complaints about that we love you on the emails, but it's true. The whole reason we built this company is to build bikes we love and to share them with people who will appreciate them. And I know when you receive your bike, you will appreciate it. And I love that we're able to do that and build you the bike of our dreams. Trev Nod. Let's see. Trev Nod said, how will I know if I have the newer LCD display when I receive my bike? There's a photo posted on the campaign page and also the product page. You can just compare the display that you received, to that, and you will know. Mr. Rob Sweet, there's a few of us on Hong Kong. Can you give us an update of delivery as we share a border with China? Hey, great question, and sorry for the folks outside of the major markets if you feel neglected or ignored. That's not our intention at all. Those are absolutely important for us. We're going to get you the bikes as well when we do the weekly updates. Most of the information is for the places where we do have hundreds of bike orders. Hong Kong is just a handful, I think 4 or 5 orders. So those will go out. They are in our build plan. Exactly when, I'm not sure. I think we have dates of between starting in February and going on from there is when those are going to start to go out. But I will get back with Troy on that. So that's not just Hong Kong, but also Singapore has some, Taiwan, Japan. Japan has quite a few bikes actually. So I will be getting with Troy on that and seeing where we're at with we call them the small country places, just countries where we have a small amount of orders. Kyle said, can you ride a baby maker on forest trails? Thinking it might be a bit bumpy, but could ride off-roads a majority of the time. Kyle, it's definitely not an off-road bike. It's at home on paved roads. There is no suspension whatsoever, front or back, on the Baby Maker. And that's what you want in a road bike, for it to be most efficient. You don't want it bouncing around and kind of killing the power that you get out of the pedals or the motor. You can take it off-road. I'm not recommending, you buy this bike for off-roading purposes, but you could certainly take it on trails. There's a lot of hard packed trails where you just going through. I've done it on mine quite a few times, and there's actually a sport called cyclocross where they take bikes with no suspension. It's just like a road bike with slightly thicker tires, and they rip those around. It's like mountain biking on a road bike, basically. It's pretty cool. So, I'm not recommending it, but you certainly could do it. Is there a page/site to show how you can customize the Baby Maker Pro? Anthony, we don't have something like that right now. However, I do recommend, if you're not in there already, joining the official Baby Maker owners group on Facebook. If you just search Baby Maker Owners Club, I think is what it's called, on Facebook, you'll be able to find that. And loads of people are posting exactly how they've customized their Baby Maker. It's the largest community for Baby Maker owners. So join that if you're not in it already, and keep an eye out for the photos. You can also go to the photos tab there and just see photos of people's bikes and how they have customized them themselves. Steven, Rob, I care about FLX, but when I ordered the bike, they gave me a September target date and have not had a call returned or email returned, and Evan suspends me. Steven, I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm not sure why you were moderated from the Facebook group, but that is something I will be chatting with Evan about and really focusing on, because we've had a few people mentioning things like that. So I'll be getting with Evan on that. As far as the delivery of your bike, it's going to happen for sure. And thank you for your patience. As far as the phones, we've actually taken the phone number down from the website, because we weren't able to get back to all the phone calls that were coming in. So right now, support is strictly email based, and that's allowing us to get through all of the support requests. At a future date, we'll probably get the phone number back online and offer phone support as well. But right now, there is a lot of support work to be done. A lot of questions about where bikes are, a lot of order change requests, etc. So while all these bikes are being delivered, we will have the phone number or the phone support down. Tango Mania, yes, all of the displays, apart from where it is illegal, which would be New Zealand, Australia, and Europe and the UK, all of the displays have a top speed limit of 28 miles per hour. So they did get a firmware upgrade to enable them to peak to 28 miles per hour. You do, again, to repeat, you do have to pedal really hard to hit that top speed. Quite a few riders have surpassed it. However, it's 28 miles per hour. You're not going to be cruising at that. It's pretty much a sprint to get there. Mr. Rob Sweet, thank you for coming on. Stephen, it sounds like you were in Australia. Thomas said we're nowhere near halfway. Thomas, what you're not accounting for is all the bikes that are on the water that have been shipped, etc. I think we're pretty close to the halfway point. Aaron asking about the speed restriction in the UK. Anybody interested in that information, I would advise you to join that Baby Maker Owners Group on Facebook. The official Baby Maker Owners Club is what it's called. I can't post that information. We can't post that information. But I imagine if that information was out, that is where you could find it. What are the temperature parameters for the battery? I'm not going to speak out of my butt here, but it's pretty extreme temperatures. Basically, if you can handle it, the battery can handle it. It's something like -10 Celsius to 50 Celsius, but don't quote me on that. It's a very wide range. Who's on answering these comments? Is that Colin? So whoever FLX Bike is in the comments, it must be Colin. Thanks for pitching in. Oh, absolutely. If I say the wrong thing, I'll get tweeted. If you purchase an extra battery, how long is its shelf life? We recommend for lithium batteries to definitely give them a charge every couple months or so. If you're gonna have it sit, room temperature is best. There's a temperature range that's ideal, and it's around like between 50 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit or so. And then you give it a charge every few months or so. That will prolong its life. Did you cover the new display? Yes. If you go back through this live, it's going to be tough to find it. I did cover the new display, but I'll just touch on it again. We did announce the 3 million stretch goal on April 16th of the campaign. And in that announcement, we mentioned, hey, we've got this in development. If we hit the 3 million, we're going to use this display. However, if it slows down production, we will proceed with the original display. And sure enough, the new display was not ready in time for the first 1,000 or so bikes. So to get you the bikes faster, in the interest of getting your bikes out, we did ship those with the original tried and true display, and after that switched to the newer display once that was completed and finished. Will there be any thoughts on rear or front basket extensions, add-ons? Beefy's not at the moment. We are pretty busy just fulfilling the bikes, but if there's a lot of requests for that, we'll certainly look into it. That would be cool. There is a rear rack with the touring package, which is cool, and there's a lot of aftermarket options that you can get to put a basket on the rear rack of a bicycle. There are some options for front racks as well. It's not quite as easy to do, but you might be able to just go on Amazon and look for bicycle front rack. If you find something that says universal, that's going to be your best bet, because those are usually engineered to work on pretty much any common style bicycle. So I'd look for that if that's something you're interested in, because we've definitely got our hands full building bikes at the moment. Anthony, thanks Rob. Brave thing to go online like this and talk to the customers. Thank you and have a great day. Hey, I really appreciate that. It's absolute least we could do, and come on and have a conversation. I'm sorry we didn't do these more frequently. It's been an absolutely busy month, but I'm certainly going to make a better effort to come on personally and do more lives, certainly at least until all of our baby makers are delivered. So you guys can expect to see a lot more of me on here. I lost where I was on the comments, sorry. Okay. All the new bikes all have new displays. Yes, Alphonse, they do, with the caveat that the European bikes, I'll have to double check on that because those components all shipped out very, very early. Actually, I believe it was in August or September. Don't quote me on the date. I'll have to double check on that. But those may be with the original display because they may have shipped before that new display was even ready. So the first bikes in Europe might be very similar to the first bikes that arrived in the U.S. Shipped with the original display. Yassine asked, why did Colin stop answering questions on the Indiegogo page? I didn't know that he had stopped answering questions. So Colin, I believe that's you monitoring FLX Bike. Let's please make sure that Indiegogo questions are getting a response. The Indiegogo comments, that's something that should be done at the very least weekly. The support team has totally had their hands full, especially with the holidays and all the deliveries these past few weeks. So we're pretty much at our capacity. Every single person on the team just working nonstop. But it is very important that we do respond to those comments. So if you haven't received a response there, I apologize for that, and I will make sure that those do happen. Patrick again asking about the Europe speed limit settings. Please hang tight and monitor that Baby Maker Owners Club on Facebook. I'm sure somebody not affiliated with the company might be posting those instructions very, very soon. So please keep an eye out in there. We would never encourage you to break your local laws, so we won't be posting that. But if that information existed, that's probably where you'd find it. Alphonse said, I'm working on a way to plug a second battery in to extend the range. Any tips? So I can't condone any modifications to the bike, but I'm sure it's going to be super cool. You might consider plugging straight into the charge port. I'd try that out. Otherwise, you have to get in and wire it up in parallel with the current battery. Jack, same answer. That speed setting for Australia. Those bikes are configured the same way as they are for Europe. So keep an eye out in the Baby Maker owners group, which is probably where some riders will be talking about that very soon. Mike, that temperature range you posted, I was talking about just the optimum temperature range for storage of a battery. That's not for use of a battery. The use of a battery is going to be from about -10 Celsius to 50 Celsius. Any plan to add a torque sensor and an internal gear hub in the future? If so, could you make it upgradable for existing buyers? We're always working on the bikes, on improvements to them, new models, etc. So all I can say about new models is to stay tuned for official announcements. We've always got some really cool stuff in the works. Some people may have seen the new weapon, which will be coming out soon. That's something we're really excited about, something we get a lot of requests about. It's a full suspension mountain bike. It's actually been in the works for about 3 years. That's been a very complicated project for our engineers, but super exciting. Baby Maker, we're always looking for ways to improve that. So we appreciate all of your feedback and suggestions on modifications that could be made there. Keep them coming. If you see anything cool on other bikes that you'd like to see on an FLX bike, let us know. Shoot it to support. Maybe tag me in the Baby Maker group. I do read through there quite a bit. I'm not active as I'd like to be. I try and stay as far away from social media as possible these days, really just focusing on work and doing what needs to be done to get your bikes out. But I do read through there, look at the photos and see what people are saying quite a lot. Lost the comments again. Okay. Brian, thank you for coming on. We will see you later. Rigo says, would be good to have more of these lives just to relieve some anxious people. Patience, hard one, looking forward to getting the bike. But yeah, Happy New Year to you too, Rigo. I appreciate that, and I agree. We will be doing more. I will personally be hosting a lot more of them moving forward. And apologies that I hadn't done more lives since that campaign ended. I totally understand that this is a really important part of the process. Ben and Sarah have been doing quite a few, but I will be filling in so you can get info direct from the horse's mouth. I love doing these. I do get a lot of shit on these, and I don't mind it at all. It's all part of the business. So I love talking with every single one of you guys. Positive, negative. The negative stuff is just you guys telling us how we can do our job better. So I appreciate that, and we do take it and learn from it. That's the most important part. There is no failure because you can always learn from it and do better and find ways of serving our riders better, which is why we are here. Steven says, love the wood wall. If somebody can look at your order and look why you were suspended. I will be chatting with Evan just about some moderation topics very shortly. So we'll talk about policies and stuff and see where we're at as far as ground rules and how we can do better in that group. So let me know. Again, the moderators are not affiliated with FLX. They're riders just like yourself and doing the best they can, really doing a great service as far as providing information. I understand that not everybody can be happy about how it is moderated, and a lot of tough choices need to be made, but I'm always interested in ways that we can do better. So please send me your ideas, and I will be chatting about that group quite a lot. Stephen asked about the warranty. If you haven't received delivery of the bike, can you purchase the second year warranty? I don't have any issue with that, and that has come up before with riders. Absolutely. Just email our support team. They'll be able to send you a link, and I'm going to give them a heads up as well so they know to expect it if you haven't received your Baby Maker yet. And even if it's already been delivered but you're still within your warranty and you'd like to add another year warranty on that before your original one expires, I think we can accommodate that as well. So just email us support@flx.bike with that request, and we'll get you a link to order it and make that happen. Pierre said, how will the customer service work in Europe? It's the same as it works anywhere in the world. We actually do have customer service reps around the globe. So no matter if you're in Australia, in Europe, Canada, United States, it's the same process for everybody. If you need help with something, if something breaks on your bike, if you crash it and you need assistance, just shoot us that email, send us photos, details of what happened. Try to be very specific. That will help us serve you better and faster. but it's all very simple. Bikes are modular. Things are made to be replaced quite quickly and simply. They're very easy. So if you do need something, again, email our support and we will mail you the component along with instructions most of the time to be able to make that swap. Steven, please email us support@flx.bike. I will not be able to email everybody who's commented on YouTube. I do have my own job to do, but if you could please email us support@flx.bike with your specific request, we will make that happen. Cost for the second year warranty, Dave, I don't have that offhand. I think it's like $249 or $299. It's around there. I lost the comments again, sorry. Rigo, if you need to add a line to your address, please email us support@flx.bike. As we have created the build plans for all the bikes, we keep like one master list of every order, and Ben and Troy are the managers of that. They've got the keys, they're the only ones. So if you do have an address change request, please email us support@flx.bike. Include your order number and the specific change that you need, and we will get that in. One thing to mention for everybody is our Mechanic Mondays. We do send out emails about that every Monday from 1 to 9 p.m. We have a live chat available on our website, www.flx.bike, with one of our top e-bike mechanics. He's monitoring there after hours even. Any chat you have about modifications to the bike, maybe you want to swap something new in, etc., or you've got an issue with the bike, you can chat directly with the mechanic in real time. That is every Monday from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific on our website, www.flx.bike. And this is not the forum to ask where is my bike, etc. It is specifically for mechanic related questions. If you do have other things about address changes, etc., those can be emailed support@flx.bike. Mechanic Mondays, though, for all mechanic related questions, Monday 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right, I'm gonna go till 4 p.m. That's an hour and a half, so 8 more minutes on the live. If you guys have any pressing questions, I'll do my best to get to all of them before we wrap this up. If you were late joining or your question wasn't answered, I encourage you to maybe watch through the live, as it's been very informative. We've had a lot of answers so far. If you missed Troy coming on, Troy comes on about 10 minutes into the live, and he gave a global update pretty much on where we stand in all of our major markets for deliveries. Felix, you're one of just a few thousand people who do have the bike already. I hope you're happy about the bike and loving the bike. We did ship those as soon as we could and did do a quality job. The first 1,000 or so, again, didn't get the display. We did upgrade through axle later. However, the bike you got, not shabby at all. It's an amazing bike with that original display and regular axle. So please be happy about that, and that you're not having to wait like most of the other folks on here who are totally understandably very anxious to get the bikes. Alphonse asked, mountain bike lover, when you think the new bike will drop, the mountain bike one. So the weapon is coming out in, it should be around springtime of this year. We're shooting for March, April-ish of this year. So stay tuned for that. And that will pretty much be in line with delivering almost all of the Baby Maker orders. So super excited for that. It's an amazing bike. As far as fat tires, we do have the Gladiator bike. That's a 4-inch wide tire. The weapon, however, that will be kind of more of a standard width mountain bike tire. That's going to be around 2.5, 2.6 inches. Alphonse, when do you think all the orders will be completed 2 years from now? No, certainly way before then. Absolutely this year. It should be in the first half of this year. So stay tuned. You know, we're shipping out thousands of bikes even at the moment, and we're very close to the halfway point, around the halfway point right now. So we're almost there. And you know, the initial first couple months is just waiting for components to arrive. Now most of them are arriving, and we assemble the bikes. Every single bike is actually in production already and has been in production for several months. But the difference between assembly and production. Production means we have placed orders with our vendors. So for example, the battery, the motor, we place an order with them. We tell them, hey, we need 10,000 motors, and they begin building all the motors, delivering them to us. Same thing with the brakes, the carbon gates, belt drive, etc. These are all built when we place the orders. They get shipped to us. So that's the whole production process, is building each component used to build the bike, shipping them all to one central facility. So China for most of the world, and then for Europe, it's in Spain. Ship them there. That's when the assembly process starts, where we actually take all the components and assemble them onto the frame. One thing to mention is we've actually brought online a third facility. So we've got one in China, one in Spain, and another one as well that's that we've worked with to build the blade in the past. They do an amazing job with the bikes, and we are using them to build a large portion of Baby Makers. I believe there's about 2,000 Baby Makers being built there. So they will be building in parallel with our other China factory. So we've got some here, some there, and that's going to speed things up, moving over the next few thousand bikes. So they've been building the frames and just waiting on components. There have been, just due to COVID and the explosion in bike demand, a lot of shortages with brakes, especially shifters, things like that you can find on different bikes. So getting the Magura brakes, etc., has taken a bit longer than we had hoped. However, those should be arriving very soon to our second facility, where they've already built a load of frames, and they'll be able to assemble those onto the bike. So we will be shipping from 2 facilities in China, and you should see things start to speed up over the next couple months here. Who's handling the Europe distribution? Pierre asked. So we've got 2 locations. One is in Europe. That's in the Netherlands. It's a place we've worked with before. I forget their name. And the other one is in the UK. So there are 2 distribution centers in Europe. One is, again, in the Netherlands, and those ship out to everybody in Europe except for the UK. The UK has their own dedicated channel. Dave L, what is the cost of the weapon? I can't reveal that yet. There's two options for that. The base weapon is going to be, I think, retail. I can't even. I'm gonna find the website so you have the official information, because I don't want to give you the wrong stuff. I've got the worst memory, so I'm not gonna give you anything off the top of my head. Let me find the site and I'll share it with you. We're doing something similar there as we did with the Baby Maker. So it's going to take me a second, but I'll post it in the chat as soon as I find it. Or if Colin is watching, you post it, that would be great. Give me 1 sec to pull that up, and I'll post it while I answer the other questions. Or if Colin can post it, that would be great. Alphonse, appreciate the time you took to do this. Again, it's the least we can do, and I will be doing more of these for you guys moving forward. Final minute or so here before I sign off. So let's just run through these. Will prices go up due to the shortages, Alphonse? So actually, something interesting there. Our costs have gone up 10% just due to inflation with the COVID stimulus bills. That's just the U.S. printing money. So the value of the dollar has decreased about 10% since we did put our orders in. So we're actually paying quite a bit more for the baby makers than planned. That's not going to affect delivery in any way. It's skin off our back. But you can expect for everybody that prices for all bikes and all things are going to raise with inflation over the next months and years. Michael, just about the EU motor, is it the same as the US motor? Due to legal reasons, it's a 250 watt motor for Europe. However, if you're in Europe, you will be very, very hard pressed to notice any difference whatsoever in the performance of that motor, except that it's limited to the 25 kilometers per hour speed limit, which is required by law for private property use only. I believe there may be some users who will post about how they can modify that in the Baby Maker owners page on Facebook. So search Facebook for the official Baby Maker Owners Club and keep an eye out in there over the next coming days. I'm sure somebody will post that info. Canada, yes, there is a GST. I believe it's around 13%. So stay tuned for emails if you're in Canada. Australia, New Zealand, or Europe. What happens is as soon as the bikes get into the distribution center and we know whose bike is whose, we send you out an email saying, okay, your bike's arrived. And it has to be after customs too, because that's when we know exactly how much was charged. Here's how you can pay your GST or whatever additional duties are paid. Once they get paid, then the fulfillment center knows to send them out. Neil, thank you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. All right, I'll be signing off, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thanks if you're waiting for the bike, for your patience. I know it's an agonizing wait. It's going to be well worth it. The bikes are arriving. We have made major milestone process in every major shipping location and more to come. So stay tuned for the weekly updates on Indiegogo, where we will keep you updated from a bird's eye view of exactly where we stand, where bikes are at in each major location. If you do have specific order requests about a address or something like that, hit us up, support@flx.bike. It's been great, guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for your patience. We love you, and I will catch you on the next live. Take care, everybody.